The fall season in Great Smoky Mountains National Park is absolutely magical. I am so excited for you to see all of the colors and really experience this park during the best time to be here. So today I want to talk to you about 3 tips for visiting Great Smoky Mountains National Park in the fall. My name is Ash. I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes. And Great Smoky Mountains in the fall is so incredible. So I'm really excited for you to go and see those fall colors, to get into the park, do some hiking, see the waterfalls, just really experience this park during one of the best times of the year. So let's talk about my 3 tips that I have for visiting this park in the fall. Number 1, come with a plan. This is so important if you are visiting during those autumn months. These months are the busiest time to be in the Smokies. The crowds are huge. Everybody wants to come in. They want to see all the elk and they want to see the colors. And so you'll be sharing this experience with a lot of people. But if you come with a plan, if you know when to be where, you have some good timing planned out, then you won't feel like you're just stuck in crowds all day. I do recommend trying to avoid weekends if you can. You get a lot of people coming through here. A lot of them actually don't really get out to hike. A lot of people like to drive through this park during the fall, and so the roads will feel really, really congested. But you can still hit the trail and a lot of times still find solitude. And there are some beautiful areas that have colors that a lot of people don't visit. So again, having that good plan in place, knowing when to be where and going into the park early or late and not on the weekends will make a huge difference. The biggest crowds you will encounter during the fall in the Smokies is in the Cades Cove area. It gets so congested and people love to be here in the fall because you can see a lot of wildlife. The trees are beautiful. You have great views of the mountains. So this area gets really congested. The other area that will be really busy is this area, the Newfound Gap Road that goes through the park. Again, because a lot of people like to just joyride through here and enjoy the colors. This road takes you from down into the lower elevations all the way up to the highest parts of the park. And so you get a really good diversity of plants and colors, and it's a really nice road to drive to see those fall colors. If you need help making a good plan to combat those crowds and to really get in there and still be able to get parking and do the things you're wanting to do, check out this Great Smoky Mountains itinerary on Dirt in My Shoes. I will walk you through all of that. You can see, isn't that beautiful? The fall is so pretty in the Smokies. Tip number 2, know where the colors will be when you go. So this park, because you do have a pretty good swing in elevation from the lower areas up to the mountain tops, the leaves will change at different times of the month. And so you'll want to know where to find the best colors depending on when you have decided to go to the park. In the higher elevations of the park, that's where the leaves start to turn first. And so if you're visiting starting about mid-September and into the beginning of October, a lot of times the best colors will be in those higher regions of the park. So again, as you're driving that Newfound Gap Road and going up and over, that will give you a really good opportunity to see those higher elevation leaves change. And Clingman's Dome, again, is a really good area for that as well. So keep that in mind if you're planning on visiting in September and you're hoping to see some colors. You'll probably want to focus your time more in the higher elevation areas of the park. If you're visiting the park starting at the beginning of October and through the first couple weeks of October, then the colors will start to go down the mountains a little bit, closer to about 4,000 feet of elevation. And so for example, the Clingman's Dome area, which is the highest part of the park, is about 6,300 feet above sea level. And so lower than that, as you're driving the Newfound Gap Road and you're heading up into the mountains, this is the area more towards like Alum Cave and Chimney Tops. That area right in there is what's going to start turning colors starting about early October. This is also a great time to be on the Blue Ridge Parkway. You'll see a lot of colors along there, or the Foothills Parkway, which is part of the national park in Tennessee, the northern part. There are sections of the Foothills Parkway that you can drive where you'll see really nice fall colors in October as well. Now, to be in the Smokies during the peak colors, you'll want to probably plan your trip around mid-October and into November. So it is a little bit later than some other places. And this is when those lower elevation trees will start turning colors. The lower elevation trees have a lot more variety of color. And so you'll get the yellows, but you'll also get a lot of reds and oranges too. And so that really is the peak time to be in the park. If you're hoping to see a ton of colors, then you'll want to plan for about mid-October or later. This is the time when you will want to go, one of my favorite areas of the Smokies to see colors and elk, which we'll talk about in a minute, is Cataloochee. And so I really love that area. You can do the Roaring Fork Nature Trail. That's a good time to do that. But again, driving those lower elevation roads, so the road from Gatlinburg over to Cades Cove and through Cades Cove, that's when you'll see those colors really come to peak around mid-October. So if you're hoping to do that, then you'll want to plan your trip for that time, but also know it just depends on the year as well. Sometimes it comes a little earlier, sometimes it comes a little later. And you'll also want to know that that will be the busiest time in the park. Tip number 3, my final tip for visiting Great Smoky Mountains in the fall is to make sure that you find some elk. That is one of the funnest things about being in the Smokies during the fall. In addition to just all the beautiful colors that are in the park, the elk come down to those lower elevations and you can see them really well. A lot of times they've got the big antlers. This is also the time when they bugle, and so the males will be bugling and you can hear them from miles away. It's really cool. And so it really is just a magical time to be in the Smokies. Make sure that you find some elk while you're there. Looking at the park map, my favorite place to see elk and where I've had the most luck in the fall months in the Smokies is either down here by the Okonalefty Visitor Center, the Mountain Farm Museum, this whole area right here. A lot of times the elk will just be hanging out in the fields right there, especially in those early morning or later evening hours. I have had great luck seeing elk in that area. The other area that is just really famous for elk during the fall in the Smokies is Cataloochee. Cataloochee is a small area of Great Smoky Mountains. You have to travel down a pretty narrow road. It gets a little hairy in there, but it is phenomenal. Not only will you have the beautiful colors, but there's also a big field out there where the elk like to go. And seeing the elk in Cataloochee is like its own sport. People come down here, they bring their chairs, they're like tailgating. A lot of people bring food and games and things and just hang out and watch the elk. So that's really fun, and that's a great place to go if you're hoping to see the elk and to hear them bugle while you're in the Smokies. I cannot wait for you to visit this park, especially if you're going during the fall months. Have a fantastic time and get some great pictures of the colors and the elk.